Bernhard excels in wrestling and has knocked out 3 of his opponents in less than a minute.
I think everyone I've hit with the right hand has went to sleep or was injured so bad the doctor stopped it. So the right hand of doom is pretty much a pretty solid statement. I've been throwing a lot in training camp, and I always try and make an appearance with it at least a few times in the fight.
Julio Gallegos has a 4-0 record, but doesn't fight for himself.
My lady got my first fight, and then I've just loved it ever since. And got with Fight Ribbon now. So I dedicate all my fights to people who's been touched or died or passed away from cancer.
Gallegos fights with Reaction MMA in Lexington, Kentucky, and is a ground and stand-up specialist.
If the fight plan how I wanted to be a knockout. Like what Mike Tyson said, get in there and get out. I don't like to stay in there too long.
Mike Bernhard versus Julio Gallegos, next.
And now back to Christopher James. Originally from Prospect, Ohio, based now in the Fort Lauderdale area. Here is Mike Bernhard, he of the Big Punch, 7-2 record. And he has won 5 of those by way of knockout.
Yeah, you know, in our pre-fight interview with him, he's about as serious guy as they come. I'm sure that I'm sure he was attempting to crack some jokes there. I don't know, but he is serious. And this guy, you know, hey, listen, he's come here to beat up Gallegos. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he makes no bones about it.
6 of his pro fights coming at 170 pounds. He is much more comfortable with that 6'3" frame to fight. Bernhard with at least 4, maybe 5 inches of height and reach on Julio Gallegos. Let's now officially meet the fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the next fight? Well, then let's get it started right now. Here we go. In the blue corner, he's a freestyle fighter. He stands in at 6 feet, 3 inches tall. He weighed in at 185 pounds. He brings into the cage a professional record of 7 wins and 2 defeats. He fights out of Prospect, Ohio, representing Freestyle Fighting Academy, Mike El Gringo Diablo Bernhard! And standing across the cage in the red corner, he's a well-rounded fighter with boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He stands in at 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 185 pounds. He brings to the cage a professional record of 4 wins and 0 defeats. He fights out of Lexington, Kentucky, representing Reaction MMA, Gerardo Julio Gallegos. And when the action starts inside the cage, your referee in charge, Troy Wah. Gentlemen, to the center of the cage.
Gentlemen, we all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Let's touch gloves, go back to your corner. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
And you look at Bernhard, who wanted us to be sure to make sure one of those losses was an eye poke, he says. I got poked in the eye, that's why I lost one of the fights. Gallegos coming in at 5-0, much shorter fighter. We asked him, couldn't you fight? And he could, possibly at 170, would seem more of his weight. He said, no, 185, I feel comfortable there. I'm staying there, and I can throw punches, and he does as this fight starts.
Hands up, hands up!
Yeah, I think, you know, as competition picks up, he may want to consider going to 170. He's just going to have a, you know, just a size disadvantage, you know, against these guys.
Bernhard with the reach pushes instead against the fence. He has wrestling background. He really got into MMA when he was in the Coast Guard. He said that's when he got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything else involved from that. Bernhard trying for the takedown here. Gallegos goes acrobatic, trying to keep it standing up.
Yeah, he grabbed hold of the fence a little bit. should have been a warning or something.
He was able to slide that one by. There's the trip. He goes down now. Bernhard trying to get ground control.
Gallegos is holding on to the neck there pretty tight, but you know he's not going to be able to finish him from there. He needs to consider changing his position a little bit.
Bernhard known for his knockout ability, but he's also known for putting fights away early. Only twice has he gone past the first round in 9 previous fights. He has a win and a loss when he goes past the first. He's trying to tighten that up. As Gallegos is trying to tighten that up, and Gallegos is a guy that also finishes off his opponents quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gallegos needs to continue his motion. He almost popped out of there, but then he stopped. He didn't try to back out. He needs to really get going. His arms trapped, is trapped in Bernhard's legs, so you got to be careful because he can get choked.
Good. Now let's go into elbows. Let's suck that knee. Let's get the position first. All right. Let's pull him away from the cage.
Coming in, guy, did not expect to be on the ground this fast and this much time in the first round.
No, actually, I expected this to be a boxing war, you know, hey, what do we know?
We're talking both of them today. That's kind of what we were led to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And looking at the fact that they have between them 8 knockouts and 11 victories combined, that's what you would think. But like you say, no. Instead, we have a takedown for each fighter here in this first round. Now they go back up against.
Oh, nice.
Onto that arm. Look at Bernhard.
He got the back. That was slick. That was a good job. He's a little too high, though. He needs to work his way back a little bit. That's one disadvantage of having too much. Oh, yeah, he's got him pancaked out.
Bernhard, a couple of slaps to the side of the head. Gallegos trying to turtle up a bit. He's not used to being in this position.
This is. Oh.
Gallegos has been able to put his guys away rather fast as well.
He's punching the back of the head.
There's another one that's very close on that side.
Anything behind the ear is the back of the head. And every single one of those are landing behind the ear.
That one comes over on the side. The ref moves in. He stops it. It's Bernhard's victory.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting thing because that's the first loss out of the red corner.
And the first loss for Gallegos in his career. He goes to 4-1. An interesting way for Mike Bernhard to pick up this TKO. He got the takedown, got it to the ground. And Gallegos, I don't think he was hurt a whole lot. He just really had no answer when he was turtled up there on the ground.
And he wasn't defending himself, you know, effectively, so they'll stop the fight.
Bernhard landing 29 of 35 strike attempts on the ground. As we take a look at this one, this is how it all ended up here, Guy, when he was able to get that last flip and get the back.
Yeah, here he is. But you see, he's getting dangerously close to the back of the head. A lot of those shots were in the back of the head, you know, which would be technically back of the head. Yeah, we got to give a shout out to our crew, Trig and Chiavello. They're in Japan right now. It'll be.
They never say anything nice about us.
Oh, they do all. Well, I don't know Trig, but Chiavello does.
Yes. Michael Chiavello, Frank Trigg coming up later at 12 midnight Pacific time. Action from Dream live here on your home for MMA HDNet. As we. Yes, go ahead.
I was like, we don't give them enough, but here we go. We go the extra effort for you guys here at HDNet. You get it 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, live MMA from Japan.
We're going to give Guy Mesger's home number later so you can call him personally, thank him. Let's get the official time of Bernhard's TKO victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor right now, make some noise for both gentlemen inside this cage tonight. And let's show the love for your winner. At 3 minutes and 56 seconds of round number 1, winner by TKO due to strikes, Mike El Gringo Diablo Bernhard!
Well, that was an interesting way to get a TKO, wasn't it? You wouldn't say that was the most overpowering victory that Bernhard has ever had, but certainly a victory.
Yeah,